Joining me now is Stephen Miller, former senior advisor to President Trump and founder of America First Legal. Also with me is Lieutenant Chris Olivarez, who's a Texas Department of Public Safety spokesman. Stephen, let's start with you. On the point of these Venezuelans, almost 500,000 getting temporary protected status. First of all, what is that? Is it really temporary? And is this legal?
No, and no. It's not temporary, it's not legal, and it's not justified by any of the circumstances happening today. Temporary protective status is for example, let's say you have an illegal alien from a country that is in the middle of an active volcano, so you can't deport them that week to that country, so you might give them temporary protective status. Temporary protective status is a form of amnesty. It gives you legal presence, it gives you a work permit, and because of the way our country works, it will be renewed indefinitely. It will be a lifelong, forever amnesty. And ultimately, Democrats will agitate to give everybody who has temporary protected status full citizenship and voting rights and chain migration in the United States. The message, not just to Venezuela by giving illegal aliens from their amnesty, but the message to the whole of the entire developing world is come to America. Joe Biden will not only escort you into the country, to the city of your choice, but Joe Biden will give you lifetime residency in this country. The purpose of this initiative is to accelerate the already record-breaking illegal immigration into this country.
Chris, now we've been showing video of illegals crawling under the barbed wire at our border to get in. I mean, it's pretty easy to do that. But you said that you caught Customs and Border Patrol agents cutting the wire themselves, apparently to facilitate the crossings into our country. What's the story there?
You know, Laura, this is something that we've seen on several occasions with Border Patrol. Yeah, with Border Patrol agents cutting the concertina wire that we have placed as a state as a deterrent to try to prevent illegal border crossings. Now, this is not the fault of the Border Patrol agents, the field agents. They're doing tremendous work under just challenging circumstances, but they're getting orders from the administration to do this. And it puts these agents in a predicament now where they're being forced by the administration to go against what they completely signed up for, and that is to protect our borders and to focus on criminal activity, not to cut concertina wire and to allow mass illegal immigration, into our state, especially in Texas. And that's what we're seeing play out. And it puts these agents in a predicament in situations where they shouldn't be, and it all falls on poor leadership. That's why we need strong leadership. We saw that prior to 2021. We did not experience what we're experiencing now at the border. We have thousands that are coming across. You have criminals that are coming across, suspected terrorists, armed gunmen, cartel gunmen that are coming across our borders unimpeded. The border was secured prior to 2021. It's in complete disarray right now, and we need strong leadership back so we can take our border back and secure it.
I mean, people have to really wrap their minds around this temporary protected status decision by President Biden, because that's 500,000 people. And people around the world hear this, and it's sold relentlessly on Instagram and Facebook and other forms of social media that there are free work permits. Stephen, I know you've seen the postings, so have I. There are free work permits. Just get here, and you'll be taken care of. This is going to be a crush of humanity, more than the tens of thousands we've seen just in the last week and a half or so at our southern border, Stephen. This is a human, financial, cultural catastrophe, and I would say national security and safety catastrophe for this country. And they want more of it. Why?
It's a wrecking ball to every feature and part of American society. That 500,000, Laura, that's half the population of Montana in the blink of an eye are now on a road to American citizenship. And they also just announced they're going to be giving TPS to Afghanistan, temporary protected status. And you heard that ridiculous list from Mayor Adams listing basically every country on the globe. This is opening Pandora's box, saying that we have a categorical policy in this country of, again, not only admitting you, not only using Border Patrol to bring you to the city of your choice, but we will regularize you. We will make you permanent in this country. What is the objective, you ask? I think it's quite clear. They do not believe that their agenda and their results, their San Francisco policies, are sellable to the American people, to American citizens. So at the end of the day, they want to change the power structure in this country because they believe that poor workers from the developing world, brought in large numbers, who will not be in the middle class, who will not be able to pay their own way, will become dependent on the Democratic Party machine for health care, for education, and for sustenance. So they believe those numbers bring them more power. And that's what this is. It's fundamentally an attack on democracy.
Yeah, Chris, the amazing thing about this as well is that the Democrats' response to this is, no, what we're actually seeing isn't happening. I give you Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Do I think the border is out of control? No, I think there's a pretty orderly process that people go through to be processed at the border when they're seeking asylum. What you see is different than what happens in actuality. So if someone is picked up at the border, obviously that begs the question that they're not streaming across the border and escaping into our country.
Chris, what's your message to her?
You know, Laura, that's a blatant lie to the American people. We know for a fact their process right now, their strategy is inhumane. When you have thousands that are streaming across our border, crossing a river, having children cross a river, just yesterday alone, Laura, we recovered a 3-year-old little boy from the river who drowned. A week before that, a 10-year-old that drowned in the same area in Eagle Pass. How can they say that's humane? Their process right now, their strategy, the administration has completely created a disaster at our border. That's why we continue to see these thousands of illegal immigrants coming across our border, and there's no stopping it right now, Laura.
Chris, did the buoys help at all? Or, I mean, the sheer numbers, I've never seen anything like this. This is a slow-moving, purposeful, encouraged invasion of the country happening. That's what's happening. And we can say it's not what it's happening, or that's rude to say. No, what else do you call it? I mean, that's what it is. But people are being told to come, essentially. So that's what's happening. But did those buoys do much, or?
Well, Laura, they have. And again, keep in mind, it's only 1,000 feet that we have in the river. And every single person that you see coming across in that footage there, and the drownings that have been taking place far away from the barrier. Now, earlier on, that's where we would see the majority of illegal immigrants crossing, but we've been able to shut down that area. And of course, now there's a legal battle against Governor Abbott in the state of Texas and what we're trying to do. So another challenge that we have to face is not only going after criminal organizations and trying to deter illegal immigration, but now we're having to go against the federal government, our own government that's trying to stop us, to try to put some type of deterrent measures in place to prevent unauthorized border crossings.
Yeah, we got to go. But Stephen, just very, very quickly, we're about to do a big segment on Ukraine. Okay, I know a lot of people care about Ukraine. If only the senators in leadership positions cared much about what was happening to our country as they do about Ukraine, we probably could have already put the pressure on this administration to shut this down. Correct, Stephen?
If our border got the attention and focus from the political class in D.C. for even 1 week that Ukraine has every week, this thing would be shut down. And my plea to Congress, as you do these funding bills, is use every authority at your disposal to stop this resettlement, or the consequences will truly be irreversible.
Stephen and Chris, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.